Hello, welcome. So, Thomas Morgan will be joining us in a few minutes. This is kind of a last minute thing, I guess. Um, we were texting back and forth earlier today, and he was saying how he wanted to talk about um, how it seems like people. Well, let me just go to the text. Let's see here. He said he wants to talk about how it seems like many are focusing on world matters and not understanding that the war is in heaven. And I agree with him. He says in Revelation how many times it says in heaven. And if we think about that, the whole book of Revelation is talking about heaven, which is above us in the sky. So, Thomas will join us, but I was going to talk about a video that I'm making. I can't believe NASA, the stuff they say. I'm reading in the chat here. Paul Levi wrote James 5 verse 8, "Be ye patient, establish your hearts, for the coming of the Lord draweth near." That's a good one. And Free Minds JT, welcome. And Rebecca Rogers and Jenny T.I. Murphy and Travis Bear. Good to see you guys. Thomas is in here, and I'm going to add him to the... Thomas, can you hear me?
It says I'm in the show, yep.
You can hear us. Okay, good. Good deal.
I can hear you.
Sound clear.
Am I clear today?
Good deal.
Let me go turn my
How you
TV down
doing?
all the way. I'm hanging in there. I'm gonna turn my
Okay.
TV down all the way. I was watching that Dr. King, that Chinese guy.
I was just watching him too. Let me go look at my YouTube now and go
I don't know if you can hear me or not.
to my history.
There we go.
See if it's the same one.
Well, my volume's low again.
What happened?
Oh, I know why. Hold on.
I can hear you fine.
You can hear me, but I can't hear you that good. I know it's on. I'm on oh crap.
Right.
Dang it. I'm on Chromecast. There we go.
Here.
You're in the show. Let's see here. Let me turn my Bluetooth off.
Got all the high-tech stuff.
Well, like Chromecast shows on TV. And that's what it is. I'm on
Gene Kim.
Chromecast. There, Gene Kim, yep. That's who I was watching.
Oh,
Watched a couple of his videos.
I got something. Okay.
And I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna turn my
It says
my
connection is
camera
unstable
off.
if you're on Wi-Fi. Okay, you know what? I think I'm gonna do the same thing. Let's see here.
Yeah, I'm gonna
It always
try
seems
to
like,
turn mine off and put a thing on it.
yeah,
See
if we
here.
do that, we might have better luck. Because actually that
Yeah, I
Wi-Fi
think
thing
so.
just went away when I turned my camera off. So I think
How do you do
what
it?
I'm gonna
Let's see
do,
here.
I'm shutting
Cam and
down my
mic,
other program too.
camera.
Rebecca Rogers says too loud.
Is it loud?
That's
Do I
why
sound loud?
turn the volume down, Rebecca. No, I'm just kidding. Effed up world is low on your end. Okay, thank you, Paul Levi. You know what I'm gonna do is
There you
because
go.
they have some settings in the audio. If I turn off stereo audio, I turn on echo cancellation. Oh, automatically a must adjust mic volume. I'll turn mine up a little bit, and then let's see guests. Thomas Morgan, I'm banning you. You know, I'm just kidding. It says there's a place to banned guests.
It's
No banned
about time.
guests here. Yeah. So how are you doing, Thomas?
Just I guess observing the Sabbath today. I've been trying to do it for the last few weekends. If I'm not
Cool.
working, I try to just do God all day. You know, do
Just
scripture all
study.
day and
Yeah.
study all day. So
Good deal.
yeah,
I'm
I'm hanging
going
in there though.
to I'm gonna say hi to everyone here too.
Yes, sir.
Brian and Girl in a Box 22 and Ryan Popejoy. Good to see all you guys. Is that better, Paul? Paul Levi says 5x5. So hopefully we're going good.
There you go.
Oh, Thomas. So I liked what you earlier when we were texting, and you were talking about things above, like things
Yeah.
like there's a lot of people seeming to focus on things happening on the earth, like wars even or whatever happening on the earth, and not even realizing that it's actually there's a war that actually is happening in heaven that should be the focus of everyone. Because we
Right.
would win if it was, you know.
Yeah, the whole revelation was a war in heaven.
Yeah, definitely. Hi, Miamizi. Good to see you. And hi, Untame Abel. I'm gonna try to stay up with the chat today.
There you go. You can play video
Were you
too
watching?
if you want.
Were you watching Gene Kim's video called "Future 2022 and Beyond"?
No, I was watching one. It was about 4 weeks ago. It was something about the
Oh, okay.
well, it was about Daniel, and it was about Revelation, and he's right there. He's
Yeah.
right there. He just
He's-
ain't grasped it yet.
He says some things that to me are, well, I see them as wrong, but it's one of those
Yeah.
things that it doesn't matter. Like he
Right.
thinks that the Pope is the Antichrist, I think. Or
Yeah.
but he says that, but then a lot of the other things that he talks about shows me that he's gonna have to let go of that sometime because the Holy Spirit's showing him other
Yeah.
things that have nothing to do with the Pope.
He keeps saying that the devil resides in space. I'm like, yeah, there you go. There you go.
Well, it's true. It's
Yeah,
true. I
no.
mean, that's the interesting thing about this whole time we live in. There's definitely it's easy to overlook some of these things, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Okay, there we go.
if I hadn't noticed
See what this does.
some of these things, I wouldn't be on the same mental way of thinking. Like I think differently than I used to.
There you go. I put an avatar up for you.
Oh, cool! I like that one. That one's good. That one's good. You guys, anybody know what that is? That's a dragon, right? It's a dragon up in the sky.
That's what John saw. Daniel too.
Yeah, you know what's funny? You know what's funny is a lot of people say, no, that's not a dragon. That's a spacecraft. And I'm like, what do they call the spacecraft? What does everyone call it? Dragon.
Right.
They call it dragon.
It said it's in Revelation. It said it spake as a dragon.
It spake as a dragon.
It didn't say it was a literal dragon.
And it also said
it spake as a dragon.
It also said it was fighting with Michael and his angels.
Yep.
And we know about some of Michael's angels from Revelation 7, don't we?
Yep.
I think they're Michael's angels. I guess it doesn't say in Revelation 7 that they're Michael's angels, but those angels that are holding back those four winds, who do you think the dragon's fighting against? What angels? You know what I mean?
Right. Same angels.
Should I go to that? I should open that up.
I got it right here.
Yeah.
I was also reading Enoch 56, man.
Oh yeah, you know what? We should do that. I don't know if we want to do it now because I think we're gonna only probably be on for like probably less. Basically, my goal is an hour from now is the midnight ride, right?
Okay.
Is it? I think it is. And I love watching those guys.
What time does it start? 10 your time?
10, I believe. Yeah, 10 my time. So it's an hour and 3 minutes or something. Yeah. So you in Revelation, what were we going to go to 12 or 7? 7, sorry.
Well, we could start in the beginning, like the well, yeah, that's where it says where it starts talking about how it was in heaven. But I mean, there are things.
Oh yeah.
That's what
I
want to focus on. How many times in the book of Revelation does it say in heaven?
I can find out. I can find
these
out
people,
by doing searches.
it's almost every show I watch. These people are like the Pope, the Vatican. Like, I'm like, man, y'all are on the wrong
Well,
focus. Focusing on the wrong thing.
in Revelation, it says in heaven 34 times.
Look at that, 34 times.
In and heaven are in the same sentence, I guess, 34 times.
Or the host of heaven.
What if I just put in heaven? Let's see how, I think it's priced the same. Oh, 55 times.
Wow.
In the book of Revelation, in the KJV.
It's probably more times in that book than probably any other book. Because Revelation's small.
You
it's
know
a
what?
short book.
It is, but there's one book that has it, or two books that has it more times. And that would be Psalm.
I was just fixing to say that.
73 times. And then there's one of the Gospels has it 75 times. The book of Matthew.
Wow.
Which is an awesome book.
I haven't really read Matthew too much. I've read a little bit of it, but not that much. I've read a lot of John. I've read a lot of Revelation. I started in Revelation. That's where I started at.
Well, where does it say, where does it say to set your mind on things above, not earthly things?
Ooh, see, look at this. I know the scripture you're talking about.
I just went to Matthew. And we like, I think for our time, our generation, whatever, it's really hard for us to realize heaven is where it's at. Like, all the things happening there make it possible, first of all, make it possible for them to be here. Because the earth is not like a physics test or whatever. It's not a numbers and whatever. It's actually the Lord of Spirits, and God is he put spirits everywhere. And I mean, I'm talking about angels and like who moves the clouds and who makes it rain and all of that stuff. That's all a different realm that we don't understand this the right way. That's what I'm learning anyway. Right. But I just went to Matthew just to look at some of these verses that say heavens, and the first verse I saw, it's like the fourth one, 3 verse 17, and lo, a voice from heaven saying, "This is my beloved Son, in whom I'm well." Matthew 4:17. From that time, Jesus began. Am I breaking up?
Yeah, I'm trying to turn my Wi-Fi on and off real quick. I don't know why. Yeah.
On my end, something's wrong.
Is that in Matthew?
Thank you, guys. Yeah, I was in Matthew. I was just looking at God's in heaven. That's basically what I was. Okay, Thomas.
Are you having a bad connection, Joe? Or is it me?
I think I have a good connection, but I think there's something either maybe wrong with my computer or.
Well, you're good now.
Is that better?
Yeah, I just shut my Wi-Fi off and turned it back on.
Okay, and I don't know. I'm just trying to look at the
you sound
audio
clear.
Here. Okay, so I just cut out for a little bit or something. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, you were breaking in and out, but it's all right.
But why don't you talk a little bit about? I'm just messing with some of the settings. Hopefully, it doesn't mess it up. But why don't you talk about kind of what you're seeing people focusing on or whatever, like you were saying in our texts back and forth.
Well, John and Revelation, we start in Daniel and Enoch too, but I mean Daniel, they were looking towards heaven when they seen these things. I mean, it says it, I don't know, like in Ezekiel, well, that's about the end, but in the one it talks about, he lifted up his eyes, he beheld, he just keeps saying like he's looking at something. And they all talk about these beasts, how they arise out of the earth. They go to the host of heaven. They're on the four winds of heaven. I mean, it's all about heaven. And then these people, I'm not saying everybody, but the nine out of 10 people pretty much 9 out of 10 people or churches or whatever, they just automatically start talking about worldly matters. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like the Pope, the Vatican, the churches, and the governments, and the money system, and
you know, a lot of times that all seems to stem from this superstition that people hang on to, that there's a bunch of men in the world that are that have more knowledge than you,
right,
and they're deceiving you. That is not true, and I want to say that I want everyone to understand that there is, okay, if we were going to say the elite, and we could be talking about people like Bill Gates and all of Elon Musk and all these rich people or whatever. Okay, the elite are not deceiving the world. There's no people in the world that are deceiving the world.
They're part of the deception.
And they are well, like if their father was Lucifer,
yep,
then they would do what their father wanted.
Yep, exactly. You just nailed it.
And same with God. If our father's God, we're going to do what God wanted.
Yep, where God leads us. Yep.
Yep. And so,
and Ephesians 6:12, where it talks about the darkness, people have got to quit saying that's like, oh, the darkness in men and the darkness of this world. Like, yeah, it's the darkness of this world, but they automatically assume that it's like, I don't know, people doing bad things, dark things, you know, or they're living in darkness or whatever. Like, there's literal darkness, the darkness that was on the face of the deep.
Sorry to interrupt you. Ryan Popejoy was on West Texas channel with Andy. I don't know if you're subscribed. Right. You should be.
No.
He actually I don't remember how Ryan worded it, but I'll try to do my best. Speaking of that darkness, and this was a good point that he made, is, okay, there is a darkness, a literal darkness.
Yep.
You know, like up in the sky, or what, the darkness upon the face of the deep.
Darkness of the world. That's the darkness of the world.
The darkness of this world. But Ryan makes a good point too, that if you aren't anywhere within the light, and we know who the light is, if you're not anywhere near that, you're in darkness. You're in outer darkness, no matter where you are. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of darkness does exist too. Like where, like
Jesus said this. You know, Jesus said to set your mind on heaven. And a lot of people got their minds. A lot of people got their mind set on space.
Yes, which is,
and I used to be one of them.
How we were born. Yeah, we were born into that. I mean, that's a video I'm working on right now. Is there's 2 NASA videos that came out lately. One was called "We Are the Explorers," and the other one is called "On the Edge of Forever." And I'm putting these together, and with some scriptures, the things that they're saying in these videos are exactly what the scriptures are saying that the people would be doing. They think they're ascending into heaven, and that they are moving beyond what's possible. You know, they're the explorers. They're like, we decide how far we'll go. You know how.
Remember when Jesus spoke about the great falling away? This is my belief on pretty much the timeline of everything. Jesus spoke of a great falling away, which I believe happened probably thousands of years ago, maybe hundreds of years ago, whenever the Greeks and the Romans were trying. I don't know if they were trying, but they were starting to get deceived on the planets, and I mean, all throughout history, people have worshipped the stars.
Yep.
But for most ancient history, they subscribe to I wouldn't say a flat Earth, but an enclosed system. And then it shifted to the globe and the universe, and everlasting universe goes on forever, whatever. God's not right above us, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So then you had a great falling away. Everybody's starting to, I would say they're starting to churn away from God, because they don't believe in what God declared in the beginning.
And that's one thing that it seems to be important, and it's on the same subject that you're talking about. Set your mind on things above. If we look up and to the sky, and we're deceived by something that's up in the sky, and I mean as a world, we're deceived as a world simply because of something that's up in the sky, and we interpret it wrong because we're thinking of everything on the ground.
I don't think God's going to judge you for that.
Well, I don't. I'm not thinking of that. I don't think that's even a topic yet.
I got you.
I'm talking about what defiles. There's a thing that defiles all of mankind at the end. Something that defiles them, and it's those 7. This is what Enoch said.
He's right, people.
That it was those 7 transgressing stars, and what they do is, I think it was in the vision of St. Paul. He worded shape. It. Yeah, they assume many different forms. That's what Enoch said. They assume many different forms to defile mankind and lead them astray into sacrificing to demons as gods.
Yep.
And what does Elon Musk tell you? What's he doing? He's preparing a place for you, isn't he?
Yeah, he's preparing a place in heaven. Yep.
In heaven, and he calls it Mars. Like, if you guys think about this is another topic we could do a whole video on next time. Is the comparisons of the claims of Elon Musk between the miracles that Jesus performed.
Yeah, we were supposed to have done that months ago. I remember talking about that. We were going to do that. You were supposed to make a video about Elon Musk, just about him.
Okay, let's do this. Let's make a video and decide what videos we have to make in the future. No, I'm just kidding. Because really, there's a lot of topics that we need to talk about.
You know what we do?
Elon Musk says all these things that he put his Neuralink into all those pages.
We always talk before the show and stuff, and we never stay on topic of what we're. I mean, we kind of do. We kind of do, but we bounce around a lot.
It's hard to. There's so many places that our minds end up going. Everyone's like that, you know.
Oh, I know.
Oh, wow.
My mind is like that all day. Is it breaking up again?
Going on again.
Yeah, I hear it.
That's probably me, guys. I'm sorry. You know what? You know what it actually is? It's StreamYard. That's what I'm
probably
using, or I think you can see that on the screen probably. But I think StreamYard does something. I don't know. I'm gonna turn off the stereo audio and see if that helps. But you know what? Like, I clicked the button, and it takes like 5 seconds for the button to realize I clicked it or something. So I think my computer is really slow too. So
I'm gonna do this.
So sorry. It almost seems like
it says connected on my end.
It'll do that, and then it seems like it'll do that, and then it'll come back all of a sudden. I don't know what it is. Let's see. Oh, I forgot that we can do video files here on StreamYard, though. So I was going to show you something. I think I might even have it downloaded. I downloaded it on a different computer. It was the last SpaceX launch. Maybe I should go find that. Like, that's going to help.
Nah, I bet it's going to be clear now, because I just did my Wi-Fi again. I bet you it's my Wi-Fi.
I see in the chat, Paul Levi says, my sound's not so good. And then Ryan Popejoy says, it seems good now. Sound is back. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah. I'm sure it's probably my something Wi-Fi. I'm doing wrong. Whatever it is, it's hopefully we can keep going. But forgot where we were at actually. We're supposed to be in Revelation.
We're supposed to be in Revelation, and how we're talking about how the world is focused on world matters, and they're not seeing the end. They're not seeing Revelation because they're focused on the world so much.
Yeah,
it's scary. It's like
I agree,
It's very
and
scary watching good people too. Good people.
when we look up at the night sky, if we see places to go, that's going to deceive us into doing what Lucifer wants, and that is that we
Ding ding
ascend
ding
into
ding
heaven.
ding.
That's the
Yep.
whole trick, is that they want to go to Mars and they want to go to the moon and they want to go to these places in the sky, but
Right.
they're not places.
No, they're devils.
Heaven doesn't have planets that are
Nope.
places.
Nope.
There is a place. There's definitely a place that they
New
are.
Jerusalem.
That no, I'm talking about the
Oh.
like the planets. They're in a place.
Oh yeah, they're
And
there.
Enoch called it a prison for the stars in the host of heaven. That's what or Uriel actually called it that. The angel
Great burning
Uriel.
mountains.
Yep. And
Yeah.
those are a curse. They're a not a curse, but they're since
So
the fourth day of creation, they've
do you think
been deceiving.
when Enoch went there, do you think that they had already been moved? Isaiah 14:9. Do you think when Enoch and John and them went there, do you think that hell had already been moved, or you think that's something that just happened, like right before space exploration or something? That's kind
I
of something
think
to think
that
about there.
I think maybe it has something to do with like the key to the bottomless pit or
There you go.
the abyss being
There
opened.
you go. Yeah, being open.
It almost seems like the time when Werner von Braun was building rockets that all of that started.
Hey, let me read
There,
56. Let me read 56 real quick in Enoch in case they haven't heard
oh
it.
yeah. Talks about
Yeah.
the fallen angels going
Yeah.
up and down. I think, doesn't it?
It says, and it's chapter 56, 5-8, and I got the 3 books of Enoch, which is one book, but it's 3 books, and it's the Book of Giants, so it's a little bit different. But it's in the first chapter 56. There's 2 chapter 56s, but it's in the first one. It's in I think in the second parable. I think it's in the second parable. And in those days, the angels shall return and hurl themselves to the east upon the Parthians and the Medes. They shall stir up the kings, which are horns, so that a spirit of unrest shall come upon them, and they shall rouse them from their thrones, that they may break forth as lions from their lairs, and as hungry wolves among their flock. And they shall go up and tread underfoot the land of his elect ones, and the land of his elect ones shall be before them a threshing floor and a highway. Ezekiel 7.
Yeah.
Ezekiel 7. It's the same thing, Joe. So
It is.
people can't say that Enoch is not scripture, because it's saying the same thing.
Can you read like the last few or 2 sentences or something that you
Yeah.
just read there about
But
they'll
the
go
city-
up and tread underfoot?
But the city of my righteous shall be a hindrance to their horses. Flat Earth. I believe that's flat
That's
Earth.
what I think.
really do.
That's what I think.
Yep. And they shall begin to fight amongst themselves. This right here just says it. And they shall begin to fight amongst themselves, and their right hand shall be strong against themselves. And a man shall not know his brother, nor a son, his father or his mother. I mean, does that sound like flat Earth people? To me, it does. Till there be no number of their corpse through their slaughter, and their punishment be not in vain. And in those days, this is huge right here. And in those days, Sheol shall open its jaws, and they shall be swallowed up therein, and their destruction shall be at an end. Sheol shall devour the sinners in presence of the elect. I mean, like, have people watched people going over there and watching space exploration shuttle going up? And I mean, that's people just watching them go up.
Yep. And I consider that to be they're being climbing into Sheol, or whatever you want to call it, sinking into Sheol.
Sinking into Sheol.
And
Yep.
sorry, I'm playing with my cat here. My cat's being kind of weird. But that's what it is, though. And here's the thing: is we're born in a world thinking with Star Trek and space and everything. Well, that's the deception. That's the deception, because that world is precisely the one that Satan is presenting at the end of days.
The father of lies.
Yep. It's not true. But when we look at the scriptures,
it doesn't mean that it ain't there, people. It doesn't mean that
there's a place there.
Or darkness,
You know, I was thinking about this, and like I don't really understand quite how to think about it. But if the sun, moon, and stars weren't placed in the firmament on the fourth day of creation, what is the firmament? Because God made the firmament on the second day, right?
Yep.
Was it a place of darkness?
Yeah, it was already there. Well,
Well, he
okay.
made it, but that's what I
Well,
don't understand
he
is,
divided it. He divided it, is what he did.
well, he created first. He said, "Let there be light," and there was light, and then he divided the light from the
All right, I'm
darkness.
gonna go to Genesis. This is how I feel about that because I'm gonna go to
Y-
Genesis. I believe
That's the
that
best way to do it.
I
The
believe that
best way to
I
do it.
believe that the light is Jesus. Okay, you can think of that however you want to think about it. Because I can't begin to
Yeah,
tell you that I know the knowledge of God and I know what He's saying
yeah.
by
It's. I
everything
think
because
it's
I don't.
something. It's something we don't understand, like
Yeah.
because Jesus is the light of the world. So I
But
mean,
if you read Genesis, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. It doesn't say that he. It doesn't say that he. I know he created all things, but it doesn't say that he created the darkness. It sounds to me like the darkness was there, and his
that's
spirit went through it, and he started to divide and create. That's how I
yeah.
see it.
I don't really know, but um, but yeah, that darkness was definitely upon the face of the deep, and I think the deep uh, is. I think personally, I think the deep is that darkness that they call space. Like it's that, or that might be the face of it or something.
Yes.
It's a bottomless abyss. That's what that word deep means. I think. Maybe I should look that up. Let's see here. Do I still got you there, Thomas? I'm all worried about my connection
Seems to
now.
go back. Got that?
Am I cutting out again?
Well, what I done is I turned my Wi-Fi on and off again because it started to do it, and I'm gonna see if it comes back clear again. I think it's my Wi-Fi, Joe.
I hear you.
Yeah,
I hear you loud and clear. But I think for a second now
yeah. It
Nat
might
says
be
we're breaking up
it
again.
might be your end then because you sound choppy.
Yeah, and why it's
He
doing that?
doesn't.
Like
They don't want to. They the darkness and those that dwell in it don't want us doing this. That's what it is.
I, like what? I'm trying to yeah. See, it's my computer's slow. Trying to keep up with this or something. Fred's comment on there. 2021, and we get connection problems.
LOL. Good one, Fred.
Yeah, and it's funny. All we're doing is just talking to it. It's like we're not even showing video or anything. Is right. She says it's Joe.
That's a good one
I'm pretty
there,
sure it's
Elizabeth.
Joe.
The face of the deep is an evil entity. Look up the Hebrew. I like the brown thumbs up. I know what you meant by that.
Let me do this.
I like that.
I am turning off
Now you're
all
clear.
my
You're clear now,
everything that I'm running in the background and see if that helps. Really?
right? Yep. You're clear on my
Because
end now.
I had a couple paid couple. All right. So where were
There
we?
you go.
I think
We were
I
talking
think that
about the face
happens.
of the
I
deep.
think that happens just so.
We were talking about the
Oh, that's right.
literal dark.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
and that's what Ephesians 6:12 talks about too. It
Yep.
says that we're not struggling against flesh and blood, and we need to listen to what Paul is saying here because it's true.
Yeah.
We're not struggling against flesh and blood, and to me that means there is nobody in this world that you're struggling against. And it
Right.
says, but against powers and principalities and the rulers of the darkness of this world.
Okay. So it says
So no matter how
and
we
the
look
dark.
at that,
It says the darkness of
the
this
rulers of
world,
the darkness,
and it
and it says
also
spiritual
says
wickedness in.
in
Oh, go
high
ahead.
places.
Sorry. Yeah,
No,
in the
I was
heavenly
just
realm.
saying. Yep. So that right there, that tells you right there, boom. That's what it's talking about.
Elizabeth
There,
says the face of the deep is an evil entity. Look up the Hebrew. That's interesting.
Well, I
I
think
did
it's in
look.
Psalm. I think it's in Psalms, Joe. It says that He uses it for a covering. I think it's in Psalms. Is God? It seems like the Father, the light, the main light, okay, which is Jesus Christ, but the Spirit of God is bright, and He uses the darkness to cover Himself. Because if He didn't use the darkness, and you're not of the Spirit or have the Spirit, everything's dead. I mean, you'll just burn it. God. It says that God's a consuming fire. He's so
Yep.
bright that if you were to see Him without Jesus, you're done. There's
Yeah.
no need. There's no need for Him to send you anywhere, send you to hell or heaven, because you'll just dust like you didn't even exist. That's
Hmm.
what I've been told about how powerful His light is, because He is the light. I mean,
And so like back to what we're kind of talking about. I don't know how we got on the deep. Probably because the deep is above the
it's the
earth,
darkness.
and it's
Yeah,
beneath the earth too.
yeah. It covers the
Um,
earth. It goes around the earth.
yeah,
Yeah.
and not
But
not
in
like
Enoch,
we're.
and
Go ahead.
Enoch, it talks about the bottomless pits on. It talks about the fire and the pits on the side of the earth, on the sides of the earth.
Yep. And then there's another thing too in that you just reminded me of in Isaiah 14 when it says when Lucifer says I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt
Yep.
my throne above the stars of God, and then he said I will mount or set my congregation in the sides of the north.
North.
And
Which way is north,
and
flat earthers?
it's pretty much up.
Up. Yep.
Up to the north, yeah.
Yep.
But that's another interesting thing about the north. These directions, we do not understand these directions north, south, east, west. Because
Well,
north,
I see north as up towards the North Star, towards Polaris or
mm-hmm,
whatever it is, the center star, anywhere in that
yep,
direction. I see
yep,
south as in God's eyes, south is obviously down,
yeah,
you know,
or
and
out, down or out.
yeah,
I don't know.
well, yeah, kicking them out. I understand what you're saying by that, but yeah, as far as east and west and what's out on the edge of the earth, LOL, I don't think no man knows that.
But
Only
where is the firmament? If we think about it, I'm not talking about like where it would touch the ground because I don't think the firmament does touch the ground. I mean,
no,
it might touch the ground, but what I'm saying is I don't think anyone's ever going to walk
it's
up to a glass wall and knock
exactly.
on it.
and it
Um,
and if you did begin to see it, you wouldn't understand what it is. It's something that only God knows. That you can't understand that.
and I think actually, um, it is quite simple at the same time. Is
I
that
hear you.
the way that I get from Enoch is if there's
The
air,
winds. Yep.
yeah, if there's air, that's the earth.
That's
If
Enoch
there's not
18.
air, if there's not air, that's the end of the earth.
That's Enoch 18, people.
Yeah, 1 through 5, and then
Yep.
also the like the four winds. Basically, he furnished the whole creation with the
So
four winds.
Joe,
So yeah,
which way does the rocket go then? Because the rocket goes horizontal.
yeah, it goes horizontal until it reaches a
Oh, I
certain
got ya.
velocity.
It's going to outer darkness out there.
Well, and it doesn't necessarily mean like out at the ice wall or something. It just anything moving sideways in the sky, if it's up high enough,
We'll kick into it. We'll go into it.
it ends up being part of it. Yeah.
Yep.
You know, like here's what I'm saying. The space station's moving 17,000 miles an hour, right? And if they do all these, they call them CubeSats. They actually
Right.
have a CubeSat launcher built into the space station. I don't know if you guys know this. It's these little satellites that a school will make, and they'll send up on a Dragon,
Yep.
and it's an experiment or a satellite or whatever for them their own, and they'll send it out in this little launcher that they have made on the ISS, and it
Yep.
shoots at about 5 miles an hour or something like that.
Uh,
So as the space station's moving 17,000 miles an hour, and it shoots out one of these CubeSats, the the speed difference in the ISS and the CubeSat,
yes, sir.
that will be uh,
I've heard something about
like
this.
it'll be like an eternal difference. It's not going. You'd have to have thrusters on the little CubeSat to slow it down in order to go the same speed again. It's going faster, and it's just going to continue that speed because there's nothing to slow it down, and
It's
there's
like
no
in the
physics
movie.
there.
It's like in the movie Armageddon, where she says, "If I kick you in the, you know what, you'll just go off into outer space." She's talking to the guy. She's like, "If I kicked you down there in the, you know what, you would just go off and you would just keep going."
Well, just like if
I
you
don't
threw
know.
a
I don't know if you ever
baseball,
seen that movie.
I
Armageddon.
haven't, or I might have, but I haven't watched
Because
movies for so long.
I used
But
to be I used to be a huge space fan, so I know all the space movies.
yeah, and that's
Yep.
like our time. We were born into that. That was
Yep.
the world we were born into,
I'm
and
definitely
now
a witness of that. I'm definitely a
we're
witness of that.
learning. We're learning that that's not what is up there.
No, God's up there,
It's
people, and below God is a place of nothingness where
yeah,
there's
and
evil spirits.
it's called many names. Hell. See,
Hmm.
people have a problem with thinking that hell is up in the sky. Well, just think about it this way: hell is beneath the earth at the same time that it's up in the sky. There's dark waters. There was darkness upon the face of the deep. Like I don't know exactly what that means, but I do know that darkness is what space is. That's what the astronauts say. That's what we see when we look up at night. If the stars weren't there at night and the moon wasn't there, you know, am I breaking up again? Don't tell me. Uh oh. Either we lost Thomas or we lost me. I'm not sure. Salted Cedar puts in the chat, if you don't believe me when I speak of earthly things, how will you understand if I tell you heavenly things? Hmm. Looks like my little icon is sort of, yeah. Sounds totally gone. Maybe he's clicking out and then clicking back in. Brian says sound is totally gone. Sorry guys for this horrible broadcast. Thomas is coming back. Let's see here. Where is he back? After stream. Okay.
I'm back.
Thomas is back on the stream. Hopefully.
We made a phone call from the moon, but we can't talk to each other. And I don't know, you're probably about 2 days away from me, Minnesota.
Oh no, he's gone again now.
There we go.
Okay, hold on. He's back in. Thomas there?
Testing. One,
Okay,
two,
now-
three.
I think, is that me that's doing all that? I'm sorry, I can hear you now though.
I said we made a phone call from the moon, but you know, you only live like 2 days away, and I can't hear you.
Yeah, and there was no delay on that, right?
Right? They just use their cell
Oh,
phone.
sorry guys. Ooh, Brian said if you have a cell phone near the computer, move it away. That's, you know what? I'm doing that because I actually had my cell phone plugged into the computer. I wonder if that's the problem. Thank you, Brian. Rebecca Rogers is right. She says every time you start to tell the truth, it messes up.
It's evil entities.
Nat says Thomas is smooth, but Joe's been breaking up.
Okay, that's probably
Figures.
his end then. I was gonna say I got good Wi-Fi.
Maybe we should take that as a sign, and Thomas should talk for a minute about what, because I know you've
wanna
got
get the
something to
scriptures
say.
out, Joe. That's it. I mean, that's all I want to do, really. I want to prove to people.
Yeah, do it.
I want to prove to people that Jesus is real, because you know I believed in the Bible all my life,
Yeah.
and I believed in, you know, I got along with the church people pretty good. I'm not saying I was a church going person. Never read the Bible. Seemed like God was telling me not to, because I couldn't never understand it. So about 5 years ago, it hit me, and then You know, all these scriptures are in my mind like 24/7, Joe. I just can't get them out. I can't stop thinking about it. I don't care what I do. If I could force myself to go do something to take my mind off it, I can't. I
Yeah,
just can't stop
it's
thinking
just
about it.
fills your mind. Well, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna mute the mic and go through some of these comments. But why don't you go
Okay.
through like because you were in
I'll go
Enoch
through the ones.
56
I'll go
and
through the ones that are on my mind
yeah,
and
do it,
just blurt
do
them
it.
out.
I think it's
People can write.
important. So
People
I'm
can write them.
muting.
I think that's the most important. I really do.
All right. Well,
But
it's all on you right
people,
now. You got the whole.
people can write them. People can write them down, and they can go from there if they want to put it together. That's what I had to do. You know, Joe. When I started watching your show, I didn't take what you said 100. It took me a minute to comprehend it, and then I went and searched it out on my own and put the scriptures together. And I'm like, yeah, he's right. I mean, there's no denying. It's not about what you're saying. It's about what this book's saying.
That's right.
And it's literally happening in front of my. I was actually involved in it. Not I didn't work for NASA, but I was involved in it. If you know what I mean, I was deeply involved in it.
It was
So
something that you like doing.
it was my life, man. It's part of my life. Damn right. Excuse my French, but I mean, it was like every day watching shuttle launches and watching rockets, and I studied Mars for many years. But anyway, I just want to say these scriptures, man. I know you're gonna watch your show at here in shortly.
Oh no, we got a half hour. We got a half hour. We're good.
Okay. I want to start in John because I love John. John 10:1. I mean, I'll start there and go from there. John 10:1 is if any man. Why would Jesus say this? He says verily, verily first. Like, I don't know if that's a, hey, y'all need to listen up to what I'm fixing to say. Like, verily, verily, I don't know what that means, but he says, verily, verily, I say unto you that if any man climbs up another way, he's the same as a thief and a robber. And then he goes on later in John to talk about what the thief and the robber does. It comes to kill and destroy. Okay. He said he's the good shepherd. And then you got Amos 9:2. I want to talk about him climbing into heaven first. To John 10:1, Amos 9:2 is I'm trying to get to him quick enough, but Amos 9:2 says that see if I can remember him. Although they dig into hell, thence my hand will bring them up, or thence my hand will take them. And then it says, although they climb up to heaven, thence will my hand bring them down, saith the Lord. Like, wow, he's telling you right there, he's bringing them up to hell, and then he's throwing them back down when they get up. When they get to the point where, you know, God's had enough, or the angels or whatever, because the angels are in torment. The noise from these vehicles, it's tormenting the angels. That can't be good. You can sin on your own. You know, I can sin, smoke, whatever. Sinning, it's not good, but I'm sinning towards myself. And then you can sin against God, like Tower of Babel, whatever, you know, or directly against God. I would say that'd be bad mouthing, you know, God don't exist, you know, Big Bang. I would say that's against God too. I really would. I'd say that's against God. But anyway, so you got John 10:1 is climbing up another way. Amos 9:2. I just said that one. That's pretty clear right there. To me, it is. If you're wondering why he would say, I bring them up to hell, all you got to do is read Isaiah 14:9. And it says, hell from beneath is moved to meet the Lord at his coming. We all know which way Jesus is coming from. So what are some other ones? I think Revelation 13:13 is a big one. It's like there's a man making fire come down from heaven in the sight of men. You can say whatever you want to say, whether it be fake, real, it don't matter. But heaven is up that way towards the sky, and this guy's making fire come down. It's a flame of fire. It's a lot of fire, really. It's a lot of fire. It ain't. People think it's CGI and fake. There's deception in it because they're involved in a lie. Obviously, we can see that. We can see the errors and all the stuff they do because this is a lie. But they're like Joe said, I'm on page 100, Ephesians 6:12. They're not wrestling against NASA people. We're wrestling against the people, the spirits that made NASA. The spirits, these unclean spirits that made these programs, these 7 churches, and the seven kingdoms. People don't understand that too. These are candlesticks. I love in one of your videos, Joe, where the guys, it's the one where the firmament break through the firmament. And the guy says, here they come, 2 candlesticks coming down. I'm like, yeah, it's exactly what Jesus called them, candlesticks. because that's what they are. 7 candlesticks, 7
Well,
churches.
we got to be careful though, because the 7 churches are the 7 candlesticks, right?
Well, yeah, there's 7 churches, and then each church has a candle. Each church has a candlestick, I think, and then they
Yeah, I
equal up
don't
to
think
7.
personally. I don't think that that has anything to do with
You don't think so?
no, because I think because those letters, the Revelation. Someone actually just texted me and asked me this question. That was weird, and I got a new
Ain't that
phone,
weird?
so I didn't have my. I don't know who it was because I recognized the number, but I switched phones and I didn't get all my contacts or whatever. But
Right?
uh I just lost my train of thought. Oh, the 7 candlesticks.
Candlestick.
Those
Yeah.
are letters that were sent to the angels of those churches, and that was instruction for the servants of God. That's what I'm saying. Was those letters was it was instruction to the servants of God, um, that like the the church of all the different churches, and so
Well,
I
I
think
wonder why in Enoch it says that the Sheol is devouring them up in front of the elect. So people over there watching it are the elect. They're part of the elect too.
well I think we're watching it right. I really do.
Oh man, my
Do you know what I'm saying?
huh?
I think
You broke up.
we're watching. Uh oh, not again. Um, if you want to keep going, Tom, I'm just gonna mute and listen
Well, what I'm gonna do is
if it works.
give me about 1 more minute. I'm gonna turn my Wi-Fi off and on again.
Okay. Yeah, for a little bit you were breaking up there, but I think that the 7 candlesticks that he's standing in the midst of, I couldn't say exactly what
Me.
those are, but they're those.
All
They're
right.
hear me?
Let's see what happens here.
You sound clear, so I'll mute if you want to keep going on
Yeah.
verses. And I'll remind you of Enoch 57. That was a good
Okay.
one.
Yeah. I mean, Enoch
But
56, Enoch 57. We said John 10:1, Amos 9:2, Isaiah 14:9. It talks about hell being moved. Revelation 13:13. This man's making fire come down in the side of the beast. And he's deceiving them. I mean, that right there, that just confirms it for me right there. Because I'm a flat earther, so when I see that, I'm like, wow, he is deceiving them. He is. If I didn't know what I was watching right there, I would think that they're going off into space, and that's what they're supposed to be doing. That's their option if they want to do that. No, this ain't an option, people. This is fornication. This is what fornication is. This is what blasphemy in his tabernacle is. This is trodden underfoot. All these words you've heard through the Bible all these years. You didn't know what they were until these seals were opened up in Revelation. Now you do know what they are, because they's clearly telling you what they're doing. Ezekiel 7. Ezekiel 7 screaming satellites all the way through. Whether you want to believe they're fake or real, I mean, go out there and watch Starlink at night. It does go across the sky. So Ezekiel 7, I would say 20 through 25 are that's the main ones. But that whole the whole Ezekiel, I mean, if you got time, listen to it, the whole thing. But Ezekiel 7 to me is a good one. There's ones in Ezekiel that are a little bit higher up too. I forget what they are. I think they're in their 20s or something like that. That are some good ones. But that whole Bible, that whole book right there is good. I don't know all the scriptures, people. Don't claim to know all the scriptures. Let's see. I wanted to say about First Peter. I know that's got to do with doesn't really have to do with people climbing up, but it's got to do with the salvation being revealed at the end. That to me, that's an important one. What else was there? Yeah, Enoch. In Enoch, I got written down 80 verse 6, 19 verse 1 talks about the stars and what they are. 18 in Enoch talks about the
yeah,
winds,
you know
what they are.
that's one I forgot about is Enoch 80.
80 verse 6 is what I got written down. I got them
Enoch
all written down
80.
trying to.
Yeah, that's an important one. That one
Yeah,
talks about
I got
how the world would be Oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah, you just said another one. I just thought of Isaiah 24, and how could I forget? Zechariah 5 is the big one. Zechariah 5 is telling you what devours the earth, what it looked like.
Yep.
He looks up. He's looking up towards heaven, people. Just like in Revelation, John was looking up towards heaven. Okay. These people were took into the wilderness. They were let off, and they say, I was in the spirit that day, or I was put in the spirit, or an angel took me. These people are being put in the spirit and they're being led off somewhere to the wilderness. Most people think that the wilderness is out there in Iraq or out there in the Middle East, but it ain't. The wilderness is what the world's calling space. It's Mystery
Yep.
Babylon. It's always been a mystery until now. And the reason why you found
Yep.
all this out, it ain't because of Joe. It ain't because of me. It's because of an angel coming down in Revelation and giving the truth, flat earth, whatever you want to
Preaching
call
the
it.
everlasting gospel.
Gospel of the kingdom. That's what it's called. But
Yep.
the world's calling it flat earth. But I mean, just think, if you're a flat earther, just think of all the truth, not just this, not just the shape of the earth, but all the other truth that you have found out because of flat earth.
Yep.
So how can anyone not say, though, man, there's an angel that comes out. Hey, in the future, there'll be an angel that comes down and pours out the truth. And then you start seeing the truth being poured out. You're witnessing it. You're part of it. And you deny it.
And Jesus said he would send the Spirit of truth to guide us
That's
into all
it.
truth.
Yeah. He must go away. He must go away to prepare a place for you. It's New Jerusalem, people, in heaven. It's in heaven. This is where this is at. It's where all this at the end's taking place. Oh, how can I forget, Joe? Daniel 7, Daniel 8, Daniel 7, Daniel 8, that talks about the beast. That's going to open your eyes. I believe that the beast started the space shuttle started it. The Russian Soyuz took it over.
Yep.
They had the feet of a bear. The
Four
ISS
kingdoms.
The ISS is the third one, and the Falcon Heavy breaks into pieces, has great iron teeth, makes fire come down from heaven. Like, come on, people.
And then that's the same beast that's in Revelation 13
That
verses
John seen,
11,
yep.
11 through 14.
Yep. I think John
makes a fire come down
seen them
from
all
heaven.
together, Joe. I think John seen them all together, and I think Daniel seen them individually. He was shown each one.
Yeah, I think you're right, but I also think that John was shown, like,
he was
maybe
shown it
John
all.
was. Well, I think he was shown, like, Satan is what he was shown. Like, what part of all that was Satan?
The dragon.
Yeah, and the dragon giving power to the beast.
Yeah,
and
I just want to
kings
clear
of
that
the
for
earth.
people too.
Yeah.
The kings of the earth. The kings of the earth are horns. That's in Daniel 7.
They looked like horns. They appeared to be horns.
Yeah, that's what he said. I beheld. The kings looked like horns. They were horns. They were horn shaped. Whatever you want to. I mean, I guess that'd be like the horn on a goat or whatever. Is where he's. I guess because that's back thousands of years ago. I guess that would be what he would describe it as, because that's what he was used to. You know, today we probably would have called it something else. We probably would have called it a capsule or something. But they didn't know what that was. I don't think they did back then.
Yeah, they
who knows?
Daniel described a little he-goat that had a notable horn between his eyes.
Waxed greatly.
It flew all the way up to the stars.
To the host of heaven.
And it cast down some of the stars to the ground and stamped upon them.
So these
and you know what it said that was? Actually, let me...
Go ahead.
You know what it said that was?
What's that?
In Daniel 8, verse 10, that it waxes great even to the host of heaven. And then it says that, you know what, I'm going to go there. Or maybe if you got your Bible, I don't have my Bible right
Daniel.
Here.
I got Daniel right here. Hold on.
Read like Daniel 8, verse 11. This is the war in heaven also against Michael and his angels. That because it talks about the prince of the host, and that's Michael, the archangel.
Daniel 8:11.
Yes, 8:11.
Yeah, I remember this one. Yep. Yeah. Yea, he magnified himself even to the prince of the host, and by him the daily sacrifice was taken away, and the place of his sanctuary was cast down.
So think about what that's saying. That's saying that little he-goat went up there, and he was fighting with, or he was magnifying himself, or what does it say? Yeah, magnifying himself even to the prince of the host. He was like going up and challenging Michael.
This is going to happen when they go to Mars. I'm talking to my girl back there, but I think this is going to happen when they go to Mars. I really do. When they try to think they're going to go to Mars and they're going to go up higher, they're going to go further up there.
Well,
That's
that's
when
what
I
they're
think.
doing. That's what they think they're
That's what I
doing now.
think. Yeah,
But
I
but
think.
so
Mm,
it says that by him the daily sacrifice was taken away.
taken away. Yep.
So and everyone's like, what did Jesus say about the abomination that
Oh,
causes desolation?
desolation. Standing in the holy place.
Yeah, that
Yep.
holy place is in the sky, guys.
Mm-hmm.
It's
It
not on
ain't
the
in
ground.
you.
That's not in
It ain't
Israel
in
on the
you.
ground.
It's in you in a way, but you ain't the holy temple of God. Quit saying that. That right
Well,
there just
Paul
it
Paul
rubs me
says
wrong
that
though.
Paul says that we're the temple of the Holy Spirit,
The
and
Holy
John.
Spirit can.
Oh,
Yeah,
I was just gonna say John said that this Holy Spirit proceeds from the Father in heaven.
from the Father in heaven.
Yep.
Yep.
So we
If you have what I this how I phrase it up right there. If you have the Holy Spirit, and I'm not saying I know who has it, who don't, but what I'm saying is, if you have the Holy Spirit, a part of the temple of God is in you. A part of it. But the
well,
main temple of
he
God is
dwells
in
in you.
heaven.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
guess Adatron is unsubbing. Sorry, Adatron. I did my best. Thank you
Oh
very
wow.
much. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Oh,
Much love on your journey, brother.
oh, it's because whoops, I clicked the wrong one. I was trying to click. He said it was laying
Lane
down. So
channel. Wow.
that's okay. That's okay. It's not for everyone.
I'm gonna pray for
Have a good
him.
one,
Yeah.
Adatron.
This ain't about Joe. I don't know Joe from Apple from an orange, whatever. It's not like I've known you all my life, man. This is about
No, yeah,
what's been uncovered. Like,
yep.
wow, it's shocking.
And then honestly, the only reason I why we go on here to talk about these things is because they're relevant things. It's not because we think they're cool
I'm gonna do the Wi-Fi again.
or
One
we were trying to
second.
get views.
I'm gonna do the Wi-Fi again.
Okay, we're not trying to get views on YouTube to get views on YouTube or to become popular. It's that this information is information that first of all has changed my life, changed Thomas's life, changed a lot of people's lives that are in the chat. And it's so because truth is being revealed that our minds have never considered. So, well, how does John says wear a mask at all times? Period. Nah, not for me. I have to protect others. I'm not sick, so sorry. You know that God breathes life. Think about that once. Don't put your air unless you're painting a car or something. Then you might want to wear one. Your other box is blindfold. Same thing. It's a good point. Eyes it so you can't see anything. Then you'll be safe, right? Cover up your eyes to protect others. I'm just kidding. Um, Rebecca says it's Joe. So, is Thomas even here? He's here, I think, but yeah, I think I must be having a problem. Why does it do this? I don't think I have this problem generally on when I'm streaming, like with OBS. But I might have last night. Last night I was streaming and it kind of did something similar to this. Audio is choppy again. Sorry, guys. Hopefully Thomas comes back, or hopefully I can hear him soon. Because I just also want to encourage people to go to Now You See TV in about 10 minutes. For Midnight Ride. So I'm just checking. I don't know where Thomas went. Not sure. Not sure. So, you know what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to, let's see if Thomas shows up. No? Yeah, Midnight Ride. Midnight Ride on Now You See TV. I don't even know what it's about or anything, but it's always good to, those guys are awesome. David Carrico and John Pounders. It's good to listen to them guys. They seem to have a great, oh, Thomas kicked out, it looks like. We'll see if he kicks back in. And if he doesn't, we'll just end the stream here and we'll pick it up. Hopefully when I figure out. Oh, there he's back.
There you go.
There he's back. Yep. Sorry about that, Thomas. I don't know what's wrong with my end. Something's doing it, I'm sure, and it.
Oh, you're all right, man. I know we're fixing the shutdown anyway. I want to say Obadiah
Yes.
1 through, I don't know, read the whole thing because it's only 21 verses. I mean, I'll just read the whole thing, but the first part of it, 4 through 5, right there. See, it's talking about the though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. But it also says right here in 5, if thieves came to thee, if robbers by night. See, that's what he talks about in John, where he talks about the thief and the robber comes to kill and destroy. That's what I believe he's talking about, because he always calls them thieves and robbers. And then it talks about in Ezekiel too. For the robber shall enter into it and defile it.
Yep. That's exactly what it says.
So that's what's going on. He's calling them thieves and robbers because they're climbing up another way.
And I just got to say this about what you just reminded me of. There's a bunch of people who believe the Bible, who have seen the truth about cosmology.
Yes, sir.
Yet they want to strongly and firmly believe that men can't get past the firmament or into the firmament or something while Ezekiel saw it happen.
Yep.
And God told him what it was.
Yep.
There's a good question here, Cara Bear. Joe, curious on your opinion about the millennial reign question. I don't know, but I don't know what the millennial reign question is. I guess, the
millennial reign is the 1,000 years that Jesus Christ reigns the earth after he returns, but it don't happen until after he comes.
Yeah, I think that's something that I get confused about in Revelation.
Right.
I'll just explain it really quick. In Revelation, the dragon. See, I don't know. It to me, it almost seems like we're at the end of the millennial reign, in a lot of ways, for a lot of reasons. But at the same time, I don't think that we're in the millennial reign right now. So
you don't believe that the world we live in? What you're saying is the world we live in. You don't believe that Jesus would be here reigning it right now the way it's running.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I don't believe that neither.
It's hard for me to understand it because the way that it seems to be in Revelation is hard to understand, because it seems like Armageddon or whatever is at the end of the 1,000 years. But when I look at the things happening in Revelation 13 and Revelation 12, it almost seems like that's Armageddon. So I don't know. I couldn't.
Well, that's what causes Armageddon.
Yeah, I guess it builds up
the curse. Yeah, the curse. The curse is what devours the earth,
and that's what Satan gathering an army, his armies. Yep. Yeah, and so
that's happening now.
That's what I see happening now. I agree with you there.
Oh, I know it is.
But my understanding in Revelation is that's at the end of the 1,000 years that he is bound.
Oh yeah.
That's just what I understand. So I don't really know.
That's the way you see it. I mean, I don't know neither.
Hard to say. Care Bear says,
I don't ever tell a timeline, but I do know that the things that were written in this book thousands of years ago are happening now. Like,
I think you're right. I think you're right.
TV and watch them.
Cara Bear, I think you're right. And this is something that I'm unclear about. But she says he's already gone back up to heaven, and Satan has been let loose a while. And I think you're entirely right. And
that's where I'm at.
And also, what happens after that? Fire comes down from heaven from God, right? and burns them
Well,
up.
I wouldn't say it's from God. I think I'm more. I mean, the way I look at God like He ain't gonna send fire down from heaven. Fuck, God don't do that. Because if God did that,
Well,
then
no, he
Jesus.
does in Revelation. He does. I'll see if I can look it up, and then we probably gotta end it pretty soon here.
I just don't know why Jesus would say, you don't know what manner of spirit you are when they said, should we make fire come down from heaven? He was like,
Yeah, well,
whoa,
I think
no, don't do that.
they were they were thinking that these people were bad, and Jesus had compassion on these people. That was a
Okay.
difference. That was a difference there. But I was just
Oh,
gonna
I know.
see.
I mean, I am towards at the end. There is going to be judgment. There's going to be wrath. I'm definitely no. I mean, I feel that. I mean, it's not like I'm saying God's not going to judge anyone. Oh
Let me
no.
read a little bit in Revelation 20.
Go
And
ahead.
I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. And
There
he
you go.
laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years, and cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that he must be loosed a little season. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Jesus and for the word of God, which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands. And they lived and reigned with Christ 1,000 years. But the rest, okay, then it starts talking about the resurrection. At verse 7, it says, "As our expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them gather to battle, number of whom is as the sand of the sea. And they went up on the breadth of the earth and compassed the camp of the saints about, and the beloved city. And fire came down from God out of heaven and devoured them." So definitely, fire comes down out of heaven to devour the devil and his armies. And it says, "And the devil that deceived them was cast in the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever." Wow, we're in time. Wait, what is it?
Well, I got
So
Jesus.
here's
I'm
what I
good.
do. Yeah, that's all anybody needs. But we're gonna end the stream here, and
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
going over
breaking up,
to.
Jeff. Midnight Ride.
Okay, thank you, Thomas. Yeah, midnight ride, and
You're
we'll
gonna
do this
watch
again
Midnight
soon.
Ride. All right, brother.
Yes.
Hey, much love to you all. Check out this.
All right.
Check out those scriptures, man. If y'all could put them together, check them out, and I would pray on it. Definitely pray on it.
And yeah, me and Thomas are going to work on a list of all these cases of that we see these vehicles in the scriptures. We're going to do that. Okay, guys, thank you,
Yep.
and have a
Praise Jesus. Much
great
love.
night, and we'll talk to you next time. All right, see ya.